going to be my week 6 through 10 update for the Hive. I'm going to go over some of the matches and show you the teams and go over my thought process. Obviously, I can't remember everything that happened in these games as it's been a while. I kind of let them stack up on accident and figured it'd just be easier to make one whole video at the end of the regular season and then talk about the regular season at the end. So week 6 was versus Ace, who's part of my conference and my division as well. And I believe at this time he was 4-1. So at this, or no, because it was after 5 weeks, he was 5-1, and no, he would be 4-1 because after 5 weeks, this would be week 6, and I was 5-0. So the team I brought versus him was Victini, Life Orb. I don't even remember what the spread was for. Oh, it was Outspeed, Nidoking. Same thing, Choice Scarf in case it got knocked off. Rapid Spin Toxic for Gastrodon. Earthquake Ironhead. Chesto, Rest, Rotom Wash, Bowl, Max Defense. Bowl, yeah, there's that. Brought Berry, Dronagon, Stealth Rock's Glare, Gunk Shot, and Earthquake. Bold. This could deal with Tapu Bulu as well with the Rough Skin and the damage from Woodhammer, the recoil. It would wind up knocking it out after rocks. I can't remember the exact calc because this was from a couple weeks ago. Obviously, Pidgeot, Mega Pidgeot, Heat Wave, Roost, Hurricane, Hit Power, Grass for the Gastrodon. Then this speed was for the Alolan Persian. Then I brought Flame Orb, Guts, Heracross knockoff, Mega Horn, Close Combat, Stone Edge, and then Max Speed to Speed Tie with Nidoking. So there's that. This is my week 7 one, right? This might be my week 8 one. Yeah, it's my week 8 one. So let's go over the match. So this is the team he brought. He leads off with Alolan Persian. I lead off with Mega Pidgeot, thinking I'm just going to fire off a Hurricane or just U-turn. I wound up firing off a Hurricane here on the first turn. 39% or 38 says that. So I go for another Hurricane, and then he stays in and roosts. And at this point, I just go for, I believe, just another Hurricane, figuring what's he going to do at worst he Air Slashes, or I can get the Confusion. I get the Confusion. He breaks through and goes for Toxic. I figured he wouldn't go for anything like Thunder Wave, because my obvious switch-ins are Rotom Wash and Excadrill, and they're immune to Thunder Wave, so there's that. I switch here to Rotom Wash, and he gets hit in Confusion. And I go for Toxic here. I went for Toxic over Volt Switch because I figured he might switch to Nidoking, or he could switch to Tapu Bulu, and I figured it's better than going for Hydro Pump, so I just Toxic. I get it on this, which is fine as well, because it'll wear it down for paying a Pidgeot, obviously, to be able to, after Rocks, probably 2-ko it. He goes into Tapu Bulu here, is where I Volt Switch, and Grass Drain's going to heal him back up. And I go into Victini. He doesn't show an item here, and so I just click Blue Flares. He has no switch-ins really. Charizard is Fire Resist. It does 42, which is nice. I reveal Life Orb on Victini. Grass Drain heals me up, and he switches to Alolan Persian here. I Psychic. It's kind of obvious, but I figure I'd still go for it, because why not? So switch out to Dronagon here. He goes for Parting Shot. Also, him having Alolan Persian on his team probably means he's Z Parting Shot. He goes for Earth Power. I calced to see if I lived an Ice Beam, and with a crit, or without a crit, I'm pretty sure I still live from, yeah, I don't remember the calc exactly. But I do know I calced it, and I lived an Ice Beam, so here's why I just stayed and went for Rocks. He goes for Earth Power, does 63 to this, but I figure this whatever. It's Dronagon. I can switch into Heracross here. Kind of just because I didn't want to have damage on Rotom and burn the Chesto early, and I didn't really have any other switch, and I didn't want to risk going to Excadrill, so I go into this, and for some reason here, I think he's going to switch to Togekiss. I don't know why, it's a shit play. I just stay in and go for knockoff, kind of just sacking it, and I win a speed tie here, which I didn't know at the time, but I did win a speed tie to get the knockoff damage, which puts it in range to be able to be revenge killed. So I go into Mega Pidgeot, Hurricane it, take that out. So doesn't really have any switch-ins to it, besides like Jirachi, but I have Heat Wave and stuff. So he goes to Togekiss. I just go for Hurricane here, and I get lucky for the confusion. I figure if he was going to go for Defog and not Roost, I 2-ko it and kill this, or he has to switch out, which will put him, he'll take another Rocks damage, and he'll be at a lesser health. So I figured, okay, that's fine, and I get lucky with the confusion, and he hits himself, which means no Defog, and this is in range of another Hurricane, so I can kill it. He goes into Jirachi here when I go for Hurricane again. I just didn't go for Heat Wave because I didn't think Heat Wave killed on Togekiss, even though it would have been a better play because he's not gonna switch in Zard and everything. So I just go for Hurricane though. He goes for his rocks here. Here is where I just go for a Glare, and he stays in. He misclicks rocks, which is kind of key, so I can get the Glare off on it for free, no damage on it. I can get this Earthquake off, which is 43%. It's nice. He goes for Toxic, but I don't really care about Toxic on this, as I'm basically sacking it off. I don't really care. I just want to get some hits off. And he goes into his Persian Alola here, and I think I go for another. I go for Gunk Shot, predicting him to go into Tapu Bulu, predicting me to go for another Earthquake. And I hit the Gunk Shot, and I get damage on it. And he goes for Foul Play and takes me out. That's going to get Rough Skin damage on it, and that's going to put him at 49%. So I just go into Rotom Wash here because I figure it's safe to go into it. And I think I just wanted to save some health on my Mega Pidgeot, I believe. I don't remember why I went to this over Mega Pidgeot, but yeah, I did for some reason. And he goes for Z Parting Shot here. He reveals the Z move, and he's going to go to Jirachi to heal up the Rachi, but it's still paralyzed. I go for Volt Switch, 12%. Obviously, with the special attack drop, it's not going to do that much. I go into Victini here because he has, again, 0 switch-ins to it. Zard will die, Togekiss will die, Tapu Bulu is going to die, and Alolan Persian's also going to die. So basically, everything dies to Victini. And his only thing that outspeed it is Persian Alola. So I just go to Victini, take rocks damage, but it's whatever. Goes into Persian Alola here. I figure I might live because I'm special, and I kill it with Blue Flare. I drop down to 8%, and here I was just like, okay, he's just sacking Mons to be able to like live, and then I figured this was going to be another sack. It turns out he's Scarfed, clicks Wood Hammer, takes me out. So this being Scarfed changes the game completely because it becomes a game of Read. So I go to Excadrill here, and I click Iron Head here, and I get a crit, deal 25%. He's going to get back from leftovers and grassy terrain, and I predict him to go to Tapu Bulu. I was kind of like thinking at first, like, okay, I'm going to go Rotom Wash, but then I was like, no, I'm going to stay in and go for Iron Head, because what is this going to do to me? Because all he's shown is Stealth Rocks and Toxic at this point, so I figured, okay, he's probably going to go Tapu Bulu, and I stay in an Iron Head. Now, the other thing about this is, in a second, because this becomes an argument after the game about going for this, but I predicted him to go to Tapu Bulu. He thought the Rotom Wash was the right play, but the problem with going Rotom Wash, since he's Scarfed, if I go Rotom Wash there, I basically lose him on. I have to sack Pidgeot, or probably Excadrill. Excadrill probably takes a Wood Hammer, but maybe not. I doubt it. Let me see. Do I have HP on Excadrill? Like 20. It's probably not going to live it, because that's a Tapu Bulu. But it would basically become me sacking him on, then become predictions between Rotom Wash and Excadrill on going for attacks and whatnot. And also Grassy Terrain sucks because it means I can't EQ, which is kind of huge as long as this is up. So I go to Rotom Wash here. Take a Drain Punch. Does nothing to Rotom. I eat it all day. And then I go for Hydro Pump. I miss, sadly, which sucks. But he gets parried, so it makes up for it. Here, I think I go for Hydro Pump again. I miss again. And he goes for Toxic here. And I think I just go for another Hydro Pump. Yeah, I go for Hydro Pump. I land this one. I do 30%. It's probably like a roll of like It's probably like the high roll. So if I hit the other two, this would basically be dead or close to dead. And he goes into Zard here on the rest here. And Chesto pops. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna be full health Rotom, just securing the game basically. If he goes for Roost here, I Volt Switch and extra draw outspeeds with Scarf. If he goes for DD, I also win just by attacking. So he goes for Whiff, thinking I would hopefully choke and go to this Excadrill, even though I still had Pidgeot, which could live, and then go for Heat Wave on this. But I go to Excadrill. I'm gonna wrap the game up with Earthquake. So there's that. Week 7 was versus LeJon. I brought Choice Scarf Victini. This was to outspeed Kyurem. Brought the same set that I brought against week 1 versus, what's his name? Slindy. With Trick, V-Create, U-Turn, and then Headbutt. I brought Excadrill, Ground DMZ, Earthquake, Iron Head, Magnet Rise, because his best mon to check this is Gliscor, and Gliscor can't touch me. So Magnet Rise, Rock Slide, there for, I don't even remember. Oh, it's there for like mods like Thundurus and stuff. Sandrush, obviously, and then Gigalith, Smooth Rock, Sandstream, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Superpower, then 252, and then 252 Wakanberry for Thundurus, because I figured I could kill Encore and Toxic. He has a Florges and a Milotic, so Encore and Toxic, very good against them. Lock them into like recover moves and Toxic them. And then Moonblast and Ice Beam. I didn't really need water coverage. It wasn't really that necessary, so yeah. And then Max Defense Bold, because it can also take on, I think after a Thunderbolt with Wakanberry from Thundurus, unless it's like Specs, I can take a return. I believe so. I don't remember though. It's kind of hard to remember some of the calcs because it's been so long. Muckalola, Assault Vest, Poison Touch, Knockoff, Poison Jab, Pursuit, Hidden Power, Ice for the Gliscor. Really didn't need anything else, so yeah. Max HP, 216 attack, 40 Spadef, Brave. I think this is just a copy and paste set, really. Yeah. Then Choice Banded, Decidueye with U-Turn, Sucker Punch, Spirit Shackle, and Leaf Blade, Max Attack Adamant, with enough speed to outspeed Min Speed Gliscor at 226, and then the rest in HP. And then I'll bring up my week 18. So started off, he leads Gliscor, I lead Victini. I just U-Turn here, figuring it's freeze, doesn't want to take, V-Create or Glaciate even. So U-Turn into Decidueye, and Decidueye is pretty much free to click a Leaf Blade here. The reason I wasn't going for Spirit Shackle is because I was figuring maybe he switches into Lopunny. I go for U-Turn here. Or no, this isn't the turn I go for Leaf Blade. I go for U-Turn here. Deal 33. But I wasn't going for Spirit Shackle this match because I figured maybe Protection goes to Lopunny because he knows I'm banded. But he doesn't. I go for Moonblast here. Special attack drop, but I'm going to eat anything he goes for anyway, so it's not a big deal. Goes for Recover. I believe I go for another Moonblast. That's 27%. And then he goes for Scald here. I believe I Encore him. Or no, I go for Toxic and miss. That sucks. But it's not a big deal because Marvel Scale would have triggered and he would have took less from something later on, so it's actually okay that that Toxic missed. I go for Moonblast here on this as he goes to this. I get the special attack drop, which I think maybe mattered, but he reveals to be physical. He also reveals Thunder Punch, which pops my Wakanberry, which kind of sucks. But I'm able to take out his Elf, and I kind of just stayed in, figuring, okay, I don't want to let him get up rocks for free, because he outspeeds most of my team, so I just stay in and kill him off. He goes into Thundurus, so I figure, okay, easy switch to Assault Vest, Muckalola. I take 34 still from the Volt Switch, which and he didn't reveal an item, which means he specs. So I go into Decidueye on his Gliscor to eat anything he's going to go for. He goes for, I figured maybe go for Rocks, but he goes for EQ. I eat that. He goes for Toxic here, revealing that he has some speed investment to, yeah, he has some speed investment. So I go for Leaf Blade here, figuring maybe he'd switch, but I probably should have just went for Spirit Shackle, because Spirit Shackle, if he did switch into one of the other things, locks him in and does more than Leaf Blade does to this, even though it's neutral, but it's also still stab. So goes for EQ. I switch into Primarina, and I figure, okay, I can just go fire off Moonblast here. I go for Moonblast here, I believe. Moonblast. Yeah. Moonblast, I get a crit. I don't think the crit really mattered in terms of this match, but basically kills him. So, yeah. After that, I let Primarina die. I believe. Okay, I go into Victini here, basically just to claim a kill or something. I go for Zen Headbutt, deal a bunch of damage to him, and he doesn't really have a switch in. He goes into this. I switch out, go into Gigalith here because I know I'm going to eat anything, and I want to get Sand up, and I want to get Rocks up. He actually freezes me. Okay, I ruined it. He freezes me here on this turn. Or no, he goes for Scald. Gets 29. I get the Stealth Rocks up. I also want to let this take damage to where I can just bring this in later. And he has the choice of either killing it or I get big damage off on something. Just to get the Sand up so I can then just switch into Excadrill and not waste Sand turns. So he goes for Ice Beam here. Here's where he freezes me, and I thaw right out. And I go for Earthquake, get 26%. And it's pretty good damage. He's going to heal it up. Leftovers, the Sand damage. I go into Decidueye here, just because I figured he's probably going to go for Recovery. He doesn't want to just lose Milotic for no reason. So I go into... this is where I go for Leaf Blade and get a crit. No, I don't get a crit. The crit was earlier then. I go for Leaf Blade, basically take him out. But I don't want to sack Decidueye because I figured Decidueye is still pretty useful here. I would want to sack it. So I think, okay, I'm just going to go to Grimer. Or, sorry, not Grimer. Alolan Muck. Because I didn't think he had Roost for some reason. Well, I just didn't think he had Roost. And I go into my Muckalola, and I get frozen again by him. And Muckalola would have hit this and killed it with Poison Jab, or I think I might have went for Knockoff even, but doesn't matter. I would have killed this though, which sucks because I go into Victini here, which Scarfed, and I click V-Create, and I deal 83%. Now I don't know if that's the max roll or not, but it pissed me off. I was like, are you kidding me? And here he has enough speed to be able to get the Roost off again, and I go for another V-Create. And here I think, okay, I don't want to risk him having Earth Power and taking a bunch of damage off my Victini. So I'm just like, I don't want to put it in Fake Out range, so I'm just going to switch and go to this, which will basically sack it off, put this at 1%, but it'll also put him in his position. If he Roosts, I kill this. He can't really switch because he doesn't want the damage on anything, because also Rocks as well, so I just get to sack Gigalith. I lose 2 Sand turns, but I'm still going to have 6 left, and he also loses Kyurem. So I go into Excadrill here. He goes into his Milotic, and I go for the Z move here. Now, when I was prepping for the team, I actually miscalculated it, but this is also the play where the missing Toxic earlier in the game mattered because he would have had the defense boost from Marble Scale, and that probably wouldn't have killed. But when I was calculating this, I forgot to put the defense in. I had Bold Nature and 252 HP, and it showed that this killed like 56.3% of the time. So it was a mistake, so I just brought it. But against max defense Bold, it still does a lot. But this shows that he wasn't that, so I kill off my Milotic with the Z move. He goes into Megalopony here. Here I calc to see if EQ kills, but I doesn't kill. It does like 84. So with the crit I would kill, and Iron Head doesn't kill either. So I figure, okay, I'm just gonna switch here into Muckalola because I figured he probably calced the same thing, and figured he'd go for Drain Punch, which would kill my my Muckalola. But if he goes for Sub, it's not the end of the world. I have a Choice Scarf Victini that can take him out. I still have Decidueye in the back with Sucker Punch. That's banded for this afterwards. I still have Stand Up with this. That Sub's going to take off a bunch of damage. And then I'm pretty sure with Victini, I still live. Unless he's Pup. He'd have to go for Pup and then return. But even then, I'd still break the Sub. Or, well, no, because he can go for this. Pup probably kills it. Power Up Punch would kill this, and then I'd hit the Zen Headbutt on the sub, because he does have sub. And then Zen Headbutt would break the sub, and then I don't know if Return would kill. Return would probably kill, and then I'd have to go to either this or this. It would also burn 2 more turns of Sandstorm. Or 3 turns, sorry. Because sub, then Power Up Punch, then Return. Because me going to that. So it would burn 3. But it would still be 2 turns left for me to be able to do it. But he doesn't go for it. He just goes for Drain Punch. Takes out the Makalola that's frozen. I go for Zen Headbutt here. I live whatever he wants to go for. Sand's still up either way. I have Sucker Punch. I go for Zen Headbutt again. He was Specs, because if he was Scarfed, he would outsped. He's not Life Orb because he didn't take any recoil. So there's that. Goes in the low plenty. And I'm able to just Zen Headbutt him out of the game. And I win 3-0. So there's that one. Maybe saving Decidueye wasn't right, because if he's like fake out quick attack, he kills Decidueye. But either way. Let's go on to week 8 versus Leo. At this point, I'm 7-0. And this is week 8. Leo, I have not beaten. My last time I played him, I got 6-0'd by him. And that was in WCBA last summer. So, kind of wanted to win this game, wanted to go 8-0. Bring the same set again with the trick. No, this is the team versus LeJon. Did I click on the wrong team again? I did. It's fucking hell. So here's the team. V-Create, Bolt Strike, U-Turns, and Headbutt. This speed investment plus Scarf to outspeed Haxorus at +1. EQ, Iron Head, Rock Slide, Stealth Rocks, Life Orb, Excadrill. I don't have Stand this week. Jolly, 281 to outspeed his Diggersby. Leftovers, Max Defense and Max HP. Rotom, Standard Rotom. Kebia Berry, this is also for +1 Haxorus, because I felt Haxorus was a big threat, and is kind of a misplay on my part. I probably shouldn't, because I didn't even think about bringing offensive Primarina when I was actually building the team, but I didn't have help for the last, during week 7 or week 8. I had to build by myself, so I thought it was fine to bring it. I brought Moonblast, Scald, Encore for Sylveon, and Toxic. We actually speed tie with Sylveon, and I probably should have sped crept it, but I didn't. Same thing with Rotom and his Rotom, but I figured, okay, I have like Rotom Wash, he has Rotom Heat, so I'm not worried about it. Bird Jesus, Hidden Power, Rock, Roost, Heat Wave, Hurricane, enough speed to outspeed. What is the fast mod on his team? Can't remember. Oh, he has Starmie, I believe. I believe he has. Let me check. I will look. Disable this. It's gonna bother me. Click that docs. Let me look. I'll look on this one because I generally don't remember what I brought it for. Oh shit. It's gonna. You guys didn't see that? Fuck, it's not letting me scroll. Fuck. Let me see. Team roster, Sprite Edition. What did I bring this for? Where's Leo? Here's Leo. Was it just for Star? Oh, he has Sceptile. That's what he has. He has Sceptile. That's what I brought it for. I guess. And then I brought Heracross with Rocky MZ because it just did really well against his team. SD. If I was able to click SD, I basically won, because if he has Aerial Ace, it means he doesn't have like a bunch of other moves on his Mega Aerodactyl. So that's kind of big, but I figured it just did well. He'd have to like risk landing a Stone Edge. But I brought enough speed to outspeed Diggersby on this as well. So starting off the match, I lead Rotom, kind of just safe. He leads his Rotom, but he sped crept. I found that after the match, he put like 4 speed. Now obviously I could have sped crept, predicting his speed creep of doing that. But he could have done that too, going like 12 speed or something. But yeah, I just didn't go for any speed because I didn't even think to speed creep any of them. I go for Hydro Pump, get 20%. He shows Sylveon it does basically nothing. So I'm like, okay, this is probably super def. I go for a Volt Switch and go into my Primarina because I figure he's probably going to go for like Wish or something or just Hyper Voice, and I could take one with this. He goes for Hyper Voice here. I take 34%. I go for Encore, but that also reveals that he's faster than me. Even though I would have been a speed tie, I would have had one speed tie anyways, so me being stupid. I go for, because I thought this was slower, I think. I go for into Excadrill to take another Hyper Voice because I didn't want to just take another one with Primarina. I go for, I believe, Rocks here, stall him up. He goes into his Conkeldurr, reveals Guts, and goes for that. I go into Heracross. I go into Heracross, and he knocks off and doesn't get the item, so that'll show that I am C-move, obviously. And I gotta stay in and go for close combat. Now, this is a bad play. I shouldn't have sacked this because this was a huge piece and probably a win con because it kind of just beat his team. I lose Heracross here, and that sucks. And I don't want to go into Pidgeot to take a Mach Punch on it, so I go into Rotom, which is going to take, he's going to switch. It'll take a damage from Mach Punch 2. I go for Volt Switch, 14%. Again, doing nothing to Sylveon. I go into Excadrill, figure, okay, I can go for any attack here because I'm Mold Breaker. His only real switching is this. I was also scared to go for Volt Switch, I think, later in the game because of Diggersby. Here, I EQ. He goes into Mandibuzz. Oh, he also could have went into Mandibuzz. I'm stupid. Didn't see it. I go for Rock Slide here. Feels Charty. I get extremely lucky here, and he flinches. So, wasted Charty, but I go for Rock Slide again. It only does 40. Here, he probably went for Roost. I flinch again, which is huge, and I go for Iron Head here to take him out. So, he loses his Mandibuzz, and he goes into Conkeldurr. I don't want to lose this to Mach Punch. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go into Primarina here, take a Mach Punch, and I'm going to take this out. Poison Jab, Kebia Berry shows, and I don't remember how fast Conkeldurr is, but he must be running some speed, probably. Conkeldurr's slow as shit. He goes into Rotom here. Rotom's going to obviously outspeed me. I just sack it off because I don't want anything else to take damage at this point. I think I go into Victini here, or I go Excadrill. Yeah, I go Excadrill to Rock Slide because he does have switching. Thought about Iron Heading, but let's go for Rock Slide. I got a crit here. The crit does matter because he does live one. I just didn't want to go for EQ, and he goes to Aerodactyl for free. Now he goes Aerodactyl. I figure I stay in here. Maybe he predicts and goes for Stone Edge. This is where having this would help, or this. Having Rotom Wash with damage on it kind of sucks because Stone Edge does a lot. I go into Rotom. Also, Sylveon just kind of fucks my team. And I also brought Special Victini. I didn't even think to bring Physical. I probably should have brought Physical, thinking about it, but I didn't. I Will-O-Wisp here. And kind of just didn't want... This is where I was scared to go for Volt Switch, thinking he might go Diggersby. So here I switch into Victini to be able to take like a Hyper Voice. He goes for it. He goes for Reflect and... Or no, am I Physical? I have Zen Headbutt. Yeah, I am Physical. This is where being Special would have helped. I did go back and forth in debate being Special or Physical. Ended up settling on Physical. I click Zen Headbutt here as I didn't want to go for V-Create or Bolt Strike, predicting Diggersby because Reflect was up and he lives. So he goes in Aerodactyl. He's going to catch the Wish. He's going to live anything I go for because Reflect I'm also locked into Zen Headbutt. And here's where I should have sacked probably Mega Pidgeot earlier instead of sacking Heracross. Heracross would have been better. Also, just going Mega Pidgeot way earlier in the match. And he reveals Pursuit. This means he doesn't have Aerial Ace, meaning that Heracross, he would have had to risk Stone Edge, probably. So risking Stone Edge, he can miss, and I kill him. But here, I have to Mega Evolve. He's going to hit the Stone Edge, obviously, and take me out. Rotom Wash is kind of my only hope. He goes into this. I take him out. But I basically lose to Diggersby here, because Diggersby just does a fuck ton with return. But obviously then it comes down to how much this does. I go for Will-O-Wisp here. Now obviously I'd have to land a Hydro Pump to do it here. And he goes for Sub, which is just good prep, because he outspeeds. He goes for Return, does obviously, as I said, a fuck ton, over half, and this is max defense, max HP. I missed the Hydro Pump, which is unfortunate, but it's not going to matter because he's going to be able to take him out with another Return. And so I lose after 7 weeks. In week 8, I lose to Leo. I only lose 2-0. but that reflect on Sylveon and him keeping Diggersby alive till the very end. Same thing with Mega Aerodactyl, just really, really fucked me. Making and sacking Heracross in the early game was a clear mistake on my part, but it's a mistake. It happens. It's whatever. Week 9 was versus Danny. That was a forfeit because he did not wind up being available. So I won 3-0. So I'm 8-1 at that point. And going to the last week, I played Shangy. I only had to get 2 kills to secure first place. If he 5-0'd me or 6-0'd me, he could take the first seed away from me. If I lock up the first seed, I'm guaranteed to basically play LeJon. There was a chance other people could have snuck into playoffs, but that didn't happen. I'll go over the playoffs, I guess, in a second. But overall, on my season, I feel pretty good about it. I'll go on Discord now, I guess, and talk about the doc. I wound up going 8-2. Me and Shangy kind of just did a meme match and kind of rigged a match at the end of the season. Basically, so he would go 8-2 and one slide down all the way in the playoffs, and I would get the first seed, so I can play LeJon, who I've already played in week 7, who is also earlier in the video. So playoffs, I actually shouldn't go to the announcements. I felt pretty good about this. My team did pretty well. 8-2 is not where I expected to be, but it feels good to be 8-2 after this season. The regular season. Going into playoffs, we play LeJon. The other person on our side of the bracket is this match, which is Alex versus Jack. Neither player we played this season. I played Alex last season. I beat him 6-0. I played Jack once. He 5-0'd me, so 2 tough opponents. So if I do win, and then Chengy versus Nodder and Ace versus what's his name? Azar on the other side of the bracket. So there's that. Ended with 18 differential, 8-2. Could have ended 9-1. So there's that. And then overall kills, I guess I'll go over it real quick. Victini ends the season in the regular season 7-5. Excadrill 10-3. Rotom 5-3. Primarina 7-5. Decidueye 4-5, Muckalola 2-4, Heracross 3-2, Dronagon 1-2, Gigalith 2-4, Glaceon came to 0 games, did 0, Mega Pidgeot went 8-2. So there's that. And then yeah, that's gonna be it for the Hive until playoffs. So sometime next week. I don't think I'm gonna be doing all the playoff videos in 1 week. So that is it. Peace out.